So, we've had the launch now of the brand new Samsung Galaxy Ring, and today I want to give you my true review of this Galaxy Ring, what I've been wearing for the last 48 hours, and tell you my first kind of impressions with it. So that's right guys, I've had the Samsung Galaxy Ring now for more than 48 hours in my possession, and I thought I'd give you a bit of a review with it, because yeah, it's quite interesting. It's a little bit different. I know there's been other smart rings out there from other kind of companies, but obviously this is, I would say, like a leading brand company out there on the top sort of technology, mobile technology companies that's actually launched out a brand new ring. And yeah, overall it is pretty cool, and I will go over lots of different sort of features and bits and pieces today. And I think first of all, the first thing I want to show you obviously was the unboxing for this Galaxy Ring. So as you can see here, it was quite a simplistic, small kind of box. It was nice to open up and everything. It folded open, what I thought was pretty cool inside of it. And then obviously what you did actually here, you actually had the actual sort of case here, which charges up the ring and everything inside of that. Have a look at that in a minute. But then obviously there were some other bits and pieces here, papers, and obviously a charging cable, and all of that sort of good stuff. And then obviously you actually have the actual ring inside of this cool sort of glass plastic case that we have right here. So it was quite easy to unbox. And then it was quite simple to just pair up. You just have to have, say, a Galaxy phone to get all the features, or, you know, an Android phone to get quite a few of the features, and it just works by Bluetooth. And once that's done, you're just up and running and ready to go. But what I think we should do then today is I think I should tell you about all the good. Then I think I'll tell you about all of the bad, as it were. And then I will also tell you why I'd say the likes of Apple shouldn't be too worried out there. And I think, to be deadly honest, I know I am a big Apple fanboy out there. I do like the Galaxy Ring, but I wanted so much more from this ring, I would say, especially with all the hype that we heard from it, and we know that other kind of manufacturers out there can do other things, and I thought with Samsung, they would push out the boat because they're that kind of sort of technology company, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So let's start then with the actual design of this ring. So the design is really sleek and cool, and as you know is that you can get this in 3 different colors with kind of like a titanium sort of finish to it. So you can have this like in a silver, a gold, and also a black kit. What you can also do is you can order a ring fitting size kit as well before you actually get your ring to see what the exact sort of finger you're going to get. What I wouldn't say is if you've got like a wedding band or another ring on your finger at the moment, I would still get the kit because of the sensors that are inside of this actual ring. They push down a little bit more, so actually things are a little bit smaller. So I would personally highly recommend getting that fitting kit, not just jumping in the boat there going, oh, I know my size. I would still get the kit anyway just to make sure, because at the end of the day, this ring costs $400. And yeah, it's quite expensive. You don't want to make the wrong mistake there. And I think that Samsung have kind of made it clear in their sort of terms and conditions that, you know, you should really get this Galaxy Ring sort of fitting kit to make sure that you don't get any big surprises there. And obviously you can get started straight away. So I would highly recommend getting that. Even if you do know the size of your sort of fingers right now and what kind of ring bands that you could wear, I'd still get that kit. Now the ring, as you can see right here, it's quite easy just to slip onto your finger, and you've got this little groove here on the actual ring. This is meant to be facing down. This is making sure that all the sensors and everything will work more accurately. And talk about that hardware. I think the hardware is absolutely amazing. We've got things that can monitor like my skin sort of temperature. We've got things that can monitor like my heart rate and things like this. All the usual kind of sort of sensors that you get, say, in a Galaxy Watch or even say an Apple Watch like I've got right here. What is really awesome, all slimmed down into this little ring, what is really awesome. I've also worn this ring, like I said, for 2 days straight, and it's brilliant. You know, it's waterproof, as you can see right here, what I love. And then also after 2 days, the battery life of this, I've only used about, say, 18 to 20% of the battery inside of this over 2 days. What's brilliant, it's literally sticking to what Samsung are claiming here. You could probably easily get a week's battery out of this ring, and then after that you just have to sort of pop it back into the case here, and as you can see right here, it lights up when you put it back into the case. It's really cool with this sort of ring sort of glow here, and I really like this case. It is pretty cool. But one thing I would also say about this actual sort of case here, it's not the easiest thing to sort of slip in your ring in, say, at night time. What you've actually got to do, you've actually got to line up the sensors correctly to get this ring back into this case. You can't just drop it on top and hope for the best. You actually have to line it up here to get the actual sensors lined up to the groove and everything there. So yeah, just be aware of that. And then I'm going to say the next best thing with this ring is definitely to do with the convenience with it. So for example, I can now wear a different kind of watch now. I don't have to wear a smartwatch all the time. I can actually wear just one of my casual sort of citizen watches like you've got right here. And then I can just wear, say, this Galaxy ring, what I absolutely love. It's brilliant. It can monitor all my health bits and pieces, and I can wear a casual watch. It's really, really good. And also this smart ring, I'd say about it, I don't know if you can see right here, it does look like just a normal ring. You know, you could easily get away with it, that it doesn't look like it stands out. You know, like how like smartwatches, like this watch here, kind of stands out like it's a smartwatch? Well, this ring here, you wouldn't notice. You'd have to look a few times to go, oh yeah, is that a smartwatch ring or not? You know, you'd have to check on that. So I do really like that with the design and everything there. But then let's move over then, I would say, to the things that are not so good about the Galaxy Ring. And funny enough, you may have noticed I've not actually talked about any of the health monitoring and things like that. And I think this is why it fits into the bad sort of category. I'm going to be deadly honest here. Now, as I said already, you have to use this with an Android phone. You can't use it with the likes of, say, an iPhone. So if you're an Apple fan out there and you want to check out this Galaxy Ring, no, it's not compatible whatsoever. But you can use it with an Android phone, but you won't get all of the features. What you actually have to have instead is a Galaxy phone, and specifically you have to have a Galaxy phone what is running Android 11 or later. I don't know what the One UI is for that, but obviously the latest Gear software as well. You can download from the Galaxy Store and everything, but you have to have that to get the full advantage out of this ring. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, but I guess that's kind of maybe Samsung doing a similar thing to Apple here. You're being locked more into the ecosystem. I remember some years ago that obviously you could get yourself, say, a Galaxy Watch, and I think those were the Gear watches, and they would work with iPhones, for example. But over more recent years, they've locked it down to, say, Android, and then now, like with this ring here, it's even more locked down to Samsung devices. Samsung are definitely going down that same sort of route that Apple have done, that if you buy our accessories, the best experience, or probably the only kind of experience you're really going to get a true kind of example here, is to go with the hardware that goes with it, that's made by the same manufacturer. And I'm a bit of a mixed opinion on this. I think that Samsung would personally sell more rings if it was compatible, say, with an iPhone. But then having said that, you know, you've got to see it from the other side of it, that, you know, Samsung are trying to get you to buy more of their sort of phones and other devices. So maybe this is why they're doing this. If you want to get the ring, you want to get the best experience, then obviously get yourself a Galaxy phone. But I think that kind of sort of watered down kind of approach where you can use it with other Android devices, it'd be cool if that was available on iPhones too. But obviously you want to get the full experience, then obviously Galaxy phone. So this ring can do the usual things. It can monitor your steps, it can monitor how many calories you're burning, and all of that kind of usual good sort of stuff what you'd expect from this. But then I would actually say the thing what's a bit of a mixed bag here is the actual accuracy of everything being recorded from this ring. You know, like I've got here on my wrist, I've got my Apple Watch Ultra 2, and it's far better. I know it's giving a far better report here in the sort of fitness app that the Apple that provides right now. And we know this because obviously in the past, you know, lots of people have actually done tests with the Galaxy and also the Apple Watches. You know, the Apple Watch definitely gives out a far better reading in accuracy, and Samsung is catching up, but it seems like the Galaxy Ring is behind again. It doesn't feel like it's actually giving the full correct readings here. Maybe there's going to be more firmware updates to come along to fix this, but from a sort of a day 1 or day 2, day 3, day 4 approach, whatever you want to call it, then right now this ring is not the most accurate ring out there. It is great. It's great that I can record all of these bits and pieces. You know, I can track my sleep at last, what I absolutely love about this. Compared to, say, my Apple Watch, what I have to put on charge like every single night, because obviously it's only probably going to last 2 days if I'm lucky with the battery, and that's with the always on display switched off, as you can see right here. So I thought it was really, really cool that I could monitor my sleep. But then because of all of the other bits and pieces, like my step counts, my body temperature and things like this are not that accurate, or they, like I said, need more firmware updates, do I fully trust that sleeping sort of pattern with this ring right now? I would probably say I don't too much, and that is a bit of a disappointment that I would say out there. You know, it's great to have these features, but, you know, they needed a bit more tuning, I would say. They should have, you know, what Samsung should have done is compared it to, say, their Samsung watches and making sure that it's getting around about the same thing. And it's a bit of a cheat here where Samsung actually announced saying, no, the best thing to do is wear the Galaxy Ring and also wear the Galaxy Watch at the same time to get the best readings. Get both, and then we can kind of work out exactly what the reading should be. But that, to me, is not the point of the ring. The ring is meant to, in my opinion, to get rid of the watch. If you don't want to wear a watch, you can wear a ring instead. I don't don't see why I should have to wear a ring and a watch at the same time, or a smartwatch and a smart ring. I know I'm wearing it right now, but that's because, you know, the comparison here of the readings. But, you know, if I had a Galaxy watch or, you know, and a Galaxy ring, I don't see why I should have to do that. I shouldn't have to buy both products. And I think this is the next thing what's bad about this Galaxy ring is to do with that price. Now, obviously it costs $399 US, and one of the big advantages, what I forgot to talk about in the goods sort of area, is that this ring, obviously, there is no subscription compared to like Aurora, Rincon, what other companies out there will have subscriptions for their rings. You don't actually get one with it. Subscription free. What's really, really awesome. But you pay $400 for this ring, and this is the crazy thing, you can get the Samsung Galaxy Watch FE for $200, and it's got all the sensors, it's got a screen. Obviously the battery life is probably not going to be as good, but to me, that is a far better kind of device out there to monitor your health and also give you notifications and things like this too. And yeah, for half the price of a Galaxy ring, that's just crazy. You know, I would be saying go for the Galaxy Watch FE because you can get exactly the same kind of readings, and yeah, it costs half the price. And it kind of like goes, well, why is this costing $400? And I think one of the main reasons behind that is the technology's been condensed down, stuck into a ring, and so because of that, you know, you're paying that premium for it. But to be double the price of a device what Samsung, you know, sell right now, that's a bit crazy. I think this ring should be at least $100 less. I think it should be, for example, $299 US or $279 US. It shouldn't be, you know, $400. I know it's subscription free and everything, but that is really, really expensive for this. Now, I know this ring also has like the pinch feature, very similar to like Apple introduced too. But again, I would say this is a bit of a mixed bag. It sometimes works with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, what I have, to turn off an alarm and things like this. But sometimes I've been going, you know, I've been tapping it loads. And they say to put it on this finger instead, on your main sort of index finger. But, you know, even me just doing that, you know, I've been sitting in bed with my alarm going, come on, come on, come on, come on. And I remember it took, I think it was like the first morning, it took it about 6 times doing that to switch it off. By that time, I could have just flicked over and turned off the alarm on my phone. You know, it was just a little bit pointless in that. Again, maybe firmware updates will fix this. But generally speaking, it's an interesting device. And yeah, I think it's got great opportunities to go into the future. But like I said, I think more should have come from this ring. I think this ring, for example, I know we've got like the pinch sort of feature and things like this. That's pretty cool, but you know, from Samsung, I was expecting a little bit more. You know, I was expecting like the bare minimum of maybe NFC inside of this ring. So for example, you could do like Samsung Pay or Google Pay with the ring. You don't have to actually have, say, a watch on for that or use your phone. That would be pretty cool. You could probably pre-select it. Maybe you could do like a pinch like that, a double pinch, boom, boom, and then it activates the NFC. But no features like that whatsoever. What is not the best, I'd say. And also, like, for example, maybe a sensor on the ring to, I don't know, rub the ring, I don't know, to do something, you know, maybe a genie will pop out or something, I don't know. But you get the idea. Maybe some sort of other abilities to do with it. Like, for example, I don't know, like if you were listening to your Galaxy Buds, you know, whether they do come out and they're successful, because obviously there's been a few problems with that, you can maybe adjust the volume on your ring. That would be really, really awesome to see. But no, nothing like that whatsoever. I was just expecting, you know, Samsung to do a bit more with this ring. And because of that, I feel the likes of, say, Apple here, if they bring out their ring in the next year or two, then, you know, there's lots of opportunity for them to leap ahead here. You know, I can imagine that obviously that kind of pinch idea, you know, Apple are going to do that. They did it with their watch. So, you know, that's Samsung copying Apple there in that sort of way. But, you know, like I said, NFC, other sensors and things like this. And also it gives me the benefit that I know that, for example, Apple, they won't release their ring until they know that the accuracy is really, really good. And also that the whole thing as well, that you don't have to use your watch and your ring at the same time, because that's just completely pointless. And so, you know, I've got more faith in that to be honest, I would say that Apple probably seen the launch of this ring, and I'm going to be honest here, it has been very successful in all its pre-orders, and you can see here by the reports that Samsung will have to make more rings to make demand. But I've got a feeling that these rings are going to go back onto the market secondhand or return back to Samsung quite quickly, unless they fix these sort of bugs with tracking and things like this. They need to be improved quite a lot there. But there again, it is a first generation ring, and you know, this is what you get with the first generation. You know, you don't always get the best maybe in it. You know, we think of the first Galaxy Fold to the current Galaxy Fold that we have right now and see how far that's gone in those 6 generations. It's gone a long, long way. And you can imagine in, say, 5 or 6 generations, what this Galaxy Ring will be like. It will probably be far better than what we've got right now. These are my thoughts then on the Galaxy Ring. It's a bit of a mixed bag, like I said, but there we go. What are your thoughts on it? What do you think? Do you think it's just a copy of the other rings that exist out there right now? Or do you think this is revolutionary? What do you think? Put it down in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, Samsung news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.